I would like to talk about the element of place. Do you long to achieve more subtlety, a deeper sense of presence, and more nuances in your work as an actor? In this video, I will deep dive into how the powerful element of place can transform and deepen your work as an actor in ways that you never dreamed possible. The ability to create a strong sense of place is one of the most important skills in the actor's arsenal. The great acting coach Uta Hagen created the physical destination exercise as the first object exercise for the actor. As a reminder, I've talked about Uta Hagen before, but if you're not familiar with Uta Hagen, I highly recommend getting her acting book, Respect for Acting. It's an essential book to have on your shelf. She said that if you are spaceless, in other words, if you are not imagining that you are inside of the specific environment or the place that the character is supposed to be existing in, your body will automatically start to tense and you will arrange yourself. Understanding how to create a sense of environment around you as an actor is the first step to clearing away your self-consciousness and also allowing ease, relaxation, and provide your character with a specific framework which they can live and breathe and behave. Now, when you begin to explore the element of place as an actor, if you're just starting out or if you're just beginning to explore the art form of acting, one of the things that took me a long time to learn about, I think it's important to talk about right away before we get more in depth about the element of place. Something very, very fundamental and enlightening, and something that every actor must learn how to trust this, which is, if it's real to you, then it is real for the audience. It often takes years of study for an actor to finally learn what it means to relinquish feeling obligated to illustrate something or to show something to the audience. In other words, rather than really experience something and trust that that's going to come across, the actor feels this obligation to showing it, showing the audience that they're experiencing something. When you learn the power of the art form and how miraculous it is to connect to something and feel it, the simple truth of the fact that you are experiencing something even though it might be coming out of your imagination, trusting that that is coming across to the audience is a very important thing to establish in your craft if you want to go deeper. There is no need to amplify or to act that you're experiencing something. The real truth of something actually has its own strong telepathic energy. So the seasoned actor knows that simply allowing themselves to experience the truth is enough. And this applies for sure to the element of place. Look at the specific environment that the character is supposed to be living in. Let's say in the script, they're supposed to be in a restaurant, or they're in a park, in an office, or they're in an auditorium, or they're in the forest somewhere. As the actor, we can simply imagine this environment around us. With a restaurant, for example, a lot of times when I'm coaching actors, I'll suggest that they think about a specific restaurant that they know, because there is a library of remembered sense memories from being in a specific restaurant. For example, anything connected to your five senses: touch, sound, sight, smell, and so on. Engaging with a specific environment that you remember with your sense memory can open the door to bringing it alive around you as an actor. You can always use this in an audition situation. You can also use it on the set. And I'm just talking about simply using your imagination, and let's say the character's in a forest. You can remember what it is to be inside the woods at some point in your life, and remember the trees around you, the smells in the air. And again, connecting to place, the element of place, is just about engaging with your five senses. It is sensorial, and we relax our tension, release our tension into our five senses, and as a result, our muscles relax, and through that relaxation, there is an experience that comes alive, and it comes through us, it comes through our bodies, it comes through our imagination, and when we relax into something specific, like a specific place, it influences our behavior. And we won't just be standing there awkwardly wondering what to do with our hands or how to stand, or do we put our hands behind our back or do we keep them at our sides. It gives relief to all of the things that make us feel self-conscious and makes us feel like we're an actor standing in front of the camera or on the stage. So if you can create a place around you, something that is being suggested in the script, that's your first step to being more specific and finding things to create. And I'd like to talk about another very strong use of the element of place that can take you even deeper into something. And I'd like to illustrate this by describing an exercise that the actor can do to explore a specific place from their life that is also connected to an emotional event, something powerful and emotional. And the way that you open up to the experience of this event is by using the element of place, not worrying about the emotion, but the element of place. The exercise is called Place of Defeat. Now, I know the title of this exercise sounds daunting. The Place of Defeat exercise allows you, as the actor, to make a choice about a specific place that is also connected to a specific memory. It's just a painful place with a painful memory. It might be a place from your childhood. It might be a place when you were in school, in high school or junior high school or elementary school. It might be a place from 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that's connected to a specific event. I'd like to point out that when you use memories from your life in acting, it is extremely important to do them responsibly, and it is recommended that you go back to a place. If you're going to use a memory that's painful, go back to something that you have already processed in your life. Once you have processed something, it becomes more reliable to use in the work. If you haven't processed something yet, leave it out. You don't have to bring it into your art until you're clear about how you've processed emotionally through the event, if it happens to be a painful one. Don't work through the thing in acting, because that is not what we refer to as artful. You want to use something that's reliable, something that you've processed, and something that has weight to it, and something that you can easily work on and then put it aside so you can move on with your life. The Place of Defeat exercise is ultimately a place exercise. It's where the actor is purely using their imagination. There is nothing that you have on the stage. The only thing that you're doing is you're making a choice, you're making a decision and setting up this as an imaginary circumstance, you're creating a scenario around which you are deciding, as you are in the present day, that you will return to this place. Why would you want to do that? Well, in the framework of the art form, you are returning to this place not just to relive it, but maybe you're going to do something for yourself. Maybe you're going to confront something that you didn't have an opportunity to confront at the time. Maybe you're going to try to heal something. Maybe you're going to try to open up to something about it in a new way. There's no right answer as far as what you would do. You just want to allow yourself to think about it and to really give it serious consideration. Why am I going back? Then you set up the scenario in your imagination around which, how am I going to get there? Logistically, is it a long journey? Do I have to get on a plane? Is it down the street? Do I just get in a taxi or in a car? What will it take physically for me to get to this place? And you set that up as your dramatic framework. You don't work on the place. You wait until the moment that you enter on the stage and in your imagination, so that you can see how strong the place is for you. You put yourself outside, like maybe there's a doorway that you can enter if you're doing it in a theater space or a studio space, or if you're doing it at home, you'd wait outside on the other side of the door. This can be done by yourself, or it could be done with a third eye or an audience. When you're outside the door, you're just placing yourself in the previous circumstances, the moment before entering, and allow yourself to exist as you would with all of the anticipation you would have to entering. You enter, and what you're doing in your imagination, in your sensory imagination, is you are allowing the things that are connected to your five senses to come in, anything that shows up. The most important thing is not to push it or rush, but rather stay open and patient and relaxed and allow the elements of the place to come in. Feel the floor underneath your feet. Feel the temperature of the air. Experience smells, colors, objects, and allow your instrument to relax into your senses. And step by step, the energy of the space will be transformed. As an acting instructor, I've worked on this exercise millions of times, and it never ceases to amaze me how powerful our imaginations are. The fact that we can imagine just with our inner senses that we are back in this environment that we used to be in, that's not here right now, but when we experience it in our sense memory, this whole thing opens up telepathically in the space around us, and it is transformed. You might not be able to see literally see all of the details of the place if you're watching the actor do this exercise, but you will certainly feel, and you will go on the journey with the actor as they experience this place. Now, the next step is, after you experience the place, you might re-experience emotionally on some level what happened in the event. That's great. Allow that to happen. But then here's something that really makes the exercise called Place of Defeat artful, is that you can respond, you can fight, you can confront, and there's no consequences. And it gives you an opportunity to do something, which is what art is all about. And it's what great acting is all about. A character under extreme imaginary circumstances in a drama, fighting for something with their soul and sharing what it means to be a human being. And at the end of the exercise, once you have moved through the process of discovery and experienced everything you possibly can experience, maybe you got something out of it, maybe you didn't get anything out of it. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't learn anything. But it's being able to complete that and understand that you gave it everything you had, and then you exit. The place of defeat is a very powerful frame of reference for you as an actor to see if the element of place works for you, number one. Number two, what happens when you really explore through your inner senses with no pressure to achieve any kind of result? What happens in the environment? Are you able to change the vibration of the space around you purely out of your imagination? If the exercise works, and I've seen millions of them, they all do, you know that you have an unbelievable opportunity to use place as an actor in every situation that you find yourself in, an audition, on the set, on the stage. And you do not have to show it. You don't have to make sure that it's coming across. All you have to do is open yourself up to it, surrender, and experience it. The Place of Defeat exercise was introduced by my acting mentor, Susan Batson, and she has a wonderful chapter in her book, Truth, where she explains this exercise extremely well, and I hope you explore this exercise. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Click on the description below for links to our website as well as our free weekly newsletter. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.